So our next guest is Erick Gray, and he is also with Black Honesty Media. And he has a new book. It has a very short title. It's called Gun, Gun. And we want to welcome him to Black Authors Matter TV. So, Erick, I don't see a little microphone there. Do we have sound?
It looks like he's still looking.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
You hear me?
Yes.
We hear you.
Okay.
Very interesting glasses you have on there.
Right. They're like old school back in the days, little, I had them for a few years. I always get comment on my glasses. People are like, yo, I love your glasses. Where you get them from? And I actually forgot where I got them from. I had them for about 2 years now.
Are they prescription glasses or?
They not. They're more just
they're
for
fashion
style.
glasses. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay. All right. Well, welcome to the show and congratulations on your new release with Black Honesty Media. And you have a simple title, Gun. So tell us what Gun is about, other than the obvious. But
well, first of all, thank y'all for having me on your show. I appreciate it so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for being a guest.
And gun is complicated. Well, I'm not gonna say complicated, but it's pretty much it's a urban supernatural thriller type of read. I wanted to do something different because I'm big on sci-fi, I'm big on supernatural stuff like vampires and everything. So gun is about a gun. Gun is about a 357 Magnum that the devil designed to corrupt man's soul. And whoever owns it corrodes their soul, and it gives them abilities, but at the same time, it makes them urge to be murderous and vengeful. So the protagonist, Omar. Omar comes from a good Christian home, but he lives in the projects. Young boy, 20, grew up in poverty, and he grew up in the church, and he always like, Ma, we grew up poor. We're always praying, but we never have anything. And he's like, why do good people suffer? And it's in Brooklyn. He's being bullied. He's been ridiculed. So one day he gets assaulted by these bullies named Bryce. And what happened is as he's running, he finds a 357 Magnum. He pulls it out, and that's the first time he ever felt power. When he ever felt he was in control. And then it just takes it downhill from there. Like, and it's like it has a succubus in the story. Because every night he's seduced by the succubus, the urge him to kill, to sin. And then he has a best friend that grew up in the church. Now it gets crazy because something happened to his friend. And he's being possessed by this weapon, and by having that power, and I don't want to tell the story.
Don't tell it all. But I mean, it sounds interesting.
It does sound interesting. I'm all into it. I'm like, oh, I need to read this.
Okay.
I start with my mouth full, but I'm telling everything. That's what I say. I'm trying to word it where you can understand it, but at the same time, not give it all away. But pretty much,
don't give us any spoilers. Don't give us the.
But pretty much, it's about good and evil. It's about forgiveness. It's like, he's being possessed by this weapon because it's giving him the advantage of something he never had in his life, and it's changing the way you're thinking from Christ to sin. And his best friend trying to say, "You changing," and he's like, "I never felt this before," and he want to continue, but it's just taking him someplace dark. But it's other characters in the story too. But he's the main focus, Omar.
Well, it just sounds real because I think that it happens with so many young people. They get a gun in their hand, and before they felt powerless. Now with the gun, they do feel like they have that power. They feel like, okay, now you guys are going to respect me. You're going to hear what I have to say because now I have a gun.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm hearing as I'm hearing your story.
Yeah, but this one becomes more of a twist though, and it's I have a detective involved in a case, and he's like he's more like he don't care who's the murder victim. He don't care who what. To him, it's like somebody died and it's a real bad person. But he's like his partner, like he's a piece of crap. Don't worry about him. But he's like, but he's still a victim. A murder is a murder. I don't care if he was a Martin Luther King or if he was a drug dealer. I'm still this is my job. And his partner like, but don't waste your time. But as he's involved in this case, involved in this 257, he finds it being an uphill battle and is messing with his faith. And he feel out like you know what's going on, but something dark is happening in this community, but he don't know what's happening. He's trying to investigate it, you know. So his name is Detective Green. That's his name. He's like it's so far the people be like, yo, how did you come up with this idea? I'm like, I just said, it just came to me one night. I was just you hear it on the news, what's going on in the world, everything. It's just, and I sometimes be like, is this something sinister behind what's going on with these mass killers and shooters? Are they being possessed? Are they that dark? Because like, what makes you go and shoot 15, 10 people, and then want to kill yourself, or then don't kill yourself? No, I mean, I be like wondering, man. I question society sometimes. Like, well, why do people do what they do?
That's
What's the
true
motive behind that?
because that is true. You wonder how what motivates a person to do that, or what happened dark in their life to bring them to
Yeah,
that point, or
Right.
what is the catalyst? Like
yeah,
these five things happen, but then number six is what made you go do it. You
yeah,
know, just wonder what is behind it. And some of it, to me, they seem like they're looking for fame after death.
yeah.
Some of that seems to be a motivation, but they could be. I think a person has to be possessed with something. I don't mean like a evil spirit, but
Yeah, but sometimes,
something to go and do that, even to people you know or people you don't know.
yes,
Right.
Sometimes people just shoot strangers. I mean, why? I mean, why would you destroy, if you 10 families? Because you really instantly destroy 10 families when you do that, or whatever the number is.
yes. So, and then when I was going to school, I took up psychology and human behavior and everything like that. I was studying it's like, sometimes it says a mental thing. Like mental illness is real. I've seen it, and I've seen it. Like I've seen people like they just one day and the next day like they deteriorated. And I'm like, and it's sad, I see it out here, and I said, I wrote an article I wrote an article in this magazine called Intellectual Ink about black men and mental health. And like one thing we don't acknowledge that as we should, especially the black community, mental health. How how we need to go about it, how we need to treat it. Because I had a friend that killed himself but 10 years ago. And I always question that, like,
Mm.
why would you do that? Like he had 3 kids, and
Mm.
he just shot himself in the one. I don't want to be so dark. I want, but
I mean, it's real feelings,
Yeah,
though. I
it's
mean,
real life.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean but you,
but
I've never known someone personally that committed suicide. Only like extension. Like I've known somebody who knew somebody. I've known somebody who was related to somebody, but I've never personally known anybody that committed suicide. Um, but I know people who seem suicidal. Sometimes people are it's a cry for help or cry for attention.
Right.
But then some people they don't say anything. They just do it.
yeah,
You know,
so
there's no warning. Um, and the people who are left behind, the family members are, I'm sure, wondering what they could have said or done, differently.
but you know what I learned though? I learned that in life you gotta have and find a purpose. You need to. That's what keeps a man going, a woman that going every day is a purpose.
Mm.
Like, because I feel like if you wake up and you don't have nothing to look forward to, a purpose or a drive, and it's like it's got to keep you. Like right now, I tell you right now, it's my kids and writing. Like my writing, I mean, that's my passion. Like
Yes.
it's therapeutic. It's like I can write about anything. I like poetry, like fiction. Sometimes I write a diary, and it's just like it's being a voice. It's just being a voice, and sometimes I feel like without it, man, it's like a heartbeat right now because. And to be published and to see your works out there and being on being interviewed, it's like wow. So that's why I tell people find something that you're passionate about, something that you love doing, you think about every day, no matter what. It could be something simple, something like it could be your family, or it could be your kids, it could be just working out, something. Man, that's I think
I
biggest
agree
thing.
with you. I agree with you. And now this isn't your first book, and you
No,
have over 2 dozen novels.
yeah, I have quite a
I
few
remember
novels
your
out there.
first book. It came out over 20 years ago because I think we
Yeah.
carried it in our store, Booty Call. I'm pretty sure we
Yeah,
had it
really
at
cool.
Kush City. And so you've kept writing since then. And
Listen,
Booty Call, I'm sure that was about what it says.
listen, I learned that. Listen, what I learned, like if you want to catch people's attention, you got to go have a good title and a good cover. And
Yes,
that cover,
It's
that
true.
title,
We say that all the
that
time
is
on this
the
show.
yeah.
absolute
And that
truth.
cover, that title, we were like, "Booty call," and they were like, "What?" But then when they read the story, they're like, "Wow, that's a good story." It's a coming of age love story about love and about sex and about just growing up in an urban environment, about second chances and stuff. But some young ladies in there. Well, what's her name? Shayna. She was a little promiscuous. She'd have sex with a man, his best friend, and her mother's boyfriend. And she was just having the time of her life. And then they all kind of caught up to her at the end. You know? Yeah.
Well, you're right about the title and the cover because you want your title to be memorable because
Yeah.
that's where you get the word of mouth advertising.
Right.
If people can't remember your book title, they can't tell other people about it.
Yeah.
So you wanted to come to someone's mind like
Yeah.
immediately.
That's why I like that. That's why I like the new title Gun. It's gun. When people saw that cover, they're like, "Yo, what is this?" They're like, yeah. Because you don't know. It's like it's just like self-explanatory. But you be like, "What gun is?" But then you read the synopsis, you be like, "Okay, I gotta check." Because it's like you put it on the shelf. It's just like you want to. It's like hit you in the face. Wow. Oh, what the hell is that? Word, That's what I'm like, and the covers they don't have to be too busy. They're just something that's
Right.
like,
Right,
oh, what?
right.
Sometimes those are the best covers that don't have too much on
Yeah,
them.
too
I
much
think
on
it
it.
attracts attention better.
Yep, it's like too busy. That's
Yeah,
why I like
a
that. I love
simple
covers that do.
title and a
Simple
simple
covers.
cover.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because a lot of people, especially first books, or maybe even not first books, but it's like they'll be trying to tell the story on their cover. They'll have like
yeah.
3 people and 4 buildings and some
Yeah.
flowers.
Yeah.
And okay, no, you don't tell the story on the cover. Tell it inside the book. The
You know, I
cover
learned
is
that from.
What's that?
I learned that from. It was it's the Godfather when they had the behind the scenes, and it was like you want it to be a mystery, but at the same time, you don't because if you tell your audience everything and it doesn't catch their attention. So the Godfather, it's like, well, they had it's like a string, a puppet, and like a
Yeah.
thing, and it was like, what was this about, and that's why it taught me, like, you know what, you wanted to be to a point where they look at it like, what am I about to read? You don't know.
You do.
What I'm about to read, like, what's this? So, and that's why I take my titles too. Like, I'll be seeing Doug, Dick, Doug. And it's just cool, but sometimes I be like, just throw them off. Like, throw them off. Like, cause I had what gun, One Life to Live. That was another good title that I actually made that to a film. I got 3 films out too, 3 movies.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna ask you
On
about
BET
your film.
Plus, right?
Yeah, well, one is one film that I wrote is on BT Plus, Bid for Love, And then on I Have No Better Love, which is on Tubi. That one's the craziest. Some people love that one. They're like, what? And then I got One Life to Live, which is on Tubi and Amazon Prime.
Okay. Now are these based on books? Were your films based on books?
Well,
or were they just scripts that you wrote?
Two are based on my book. No Better Love is based on a story, and One Life to Live. Bid for Love was somebody came to me like, oh, they want to do a screenplay, so I collaborated with them. We wrote a screenplay, and they have put it on BET. I have about two more films might get into production next year. We don't have an exact title, but one is going to be a bigger budget, and then another called Lady Boss. It's like a love story too. It's like, does she marry for love, or does she marry for money? And it takes place in Harlem. So,
okay.
yeah.
Now, where do you live? Do you live in South Carolina? Where do you live, or where you from?
Currently, I am living in Greenville, South Carolina.
Okay.
But I am from Jamaica, Queens, New York.
Okay, I thought so. Well, one thing, you got a New York Yankees cap on. So
that's all I wear.
And I still hear the accent. So, it's still there.
But people say, look, well, when I hear people like, hey, you got a southern. No, I don't. I said, no, I don't. Because they say, I've been down for over a decade now. And they say my accent changed. People down here say, I sound like from New York. If people from New York say I sound like from down here, I don't know what they do.
I went through the same thing when I was I'm from New Orleans, and when I go someplace else, oh, you sound like you're from New Orleans. I could tell. But then in New Orleans, oh, you sound country. You don't sound like you're from New
York. I'm like, what do I sound like?
But you know what it is? People from home know what home is supposed to sound like. Other people just think they know what home is supposed to sound like.
And it's crazy because my mother's from Barbados and my father's from South Carolina.
Oh,
so I had a Caribbean mother and a Southern father. So,
wow.
and they both cook. So.
Well, that's good, especially around the holidays. I bet you all have. So is their cooking a mixture of Caribbean food and
food, black eyed peas, plantains, and oxtails, and ribs, and fish cakes, so it's back and forth. So
okay. All right. So how did you get into the filmmaking? And you've done some acting, you said. You've done some.
Well, I've had to be behind the scenes to act. Acting is it's harder than you think it is, but how I got a film, it's a crazy story. That's why I tell the story. So back in 2004, I was hanging out with this filmmaker. It was Ron Haywood in Queens. So we hang out in Queens, and he introduced me to another filmmaker, a producer, Zodiac. So we met in 2004. So he gave me his call, and I talked. But then when I talked to him at the time, it was like I felt like he was brushing me off. So I thought, man, he ain't serious about me. True story. That's why I tell people, listen, don't ever get offended. Just, keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing. So what happened was, when I write a new story, I just send an extra emails. So I had kept his email address on file. So fast forward 4 years later, I'm working on the short story. So I said, I want to get people's feedback. So I sent out an email blast, like a quick excerpt of my stuff. I kid you not, about 20 minutes later, I get an email from him. Yo, who wrote this? This is really good. Yo, oh my God. Who are you? And we had met 4 years.
Okay. Oh.
There he is.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, he didn't remember me. So I said, he gave me his number. So I said, yeah, this is so-and-so. He said, we started talking. He said, where you from? Queens. Where you from? Queens. We both from Queens. So he said, yo, I need a writer like you. Where you can you come meet me next tomorrow night, something at my house? So I went to meet him, right? So I went to his house. He got the gold plaques, all this in the wall. It's kind of intimidating. You like, wow, he's a music producer. And he done stuff with 50. He started stuff with Tupac. He done stuff with Lost Boys. He done stuff with a lot of
Nice.
artists. So he had invited a rapper, AZ. I don't know if you remember AZ.
What's the
The
name?
rapper, AZ.
AZ. I don't know about that.
I don't
Well,
keep
he's a
up.
rapper. All
Okay.
right, so we had an impromptu meeting right there, like after the phone call after yesterday, and he's like, "Yo, this rapper wanted to do a film. He wanted me to write a script." And I was like, "All right," I said, "I could do it." Now, mind you, I had never wrote a script a day in my life. All I did was novels. So I'm
Well,
like,
you can write, and then you can always look at it's the script writer's Bible. There's a book called, I think, the Script Writer's Bible, something like that.
yeah.
You know,
Well,
you can get resources.
I'm telling you what happened. So they're like, I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, yo, what are you doing? What are you talking about? You can't write no script. So I'm sitting there like, yeah, I can do this. So I'm smiling, but then they were like, all right, they pitched me the story. And then they said, well, can you write? I said, yeah. So I said, can you write it in 2 weeks? Oh, yeah,
Oh,
I can write
wow.
it in 2 weeks.
Okay, and you don't know what you're doing, but you're gonna learn though.
Yeah, I know. So I'm sitting in the meeting like, I'm like, wow. I'm like, what the F you doing? So all right. So it was about a 40-minute meeting. We talking. So I leave there. I'm like, yo, what the fuck I got into? But you know what I learned though is like when you have an opportunity in front of you, do not let fear hinder it.
Exactly.
So
Right.
what happened was I got on the phone. I called my boy Anthony White. I said, yo, he gave me a book, said Phil's to read about screenwriting. I went home. I downloaded like 10 screenplays, read them overnight, just reading them, studied the format, and I'm reading. And then I started writing it, and I finished it in 2 weeks, and he loved it. I was like, I really like it. It's like, yo, you like this joint? I'm like, what?
So
I'm like,
at the time, did he know you had never written a screenplay? And
so,
did you tell him later? Not then.
I never
Years
told him.
later. Did you ever tell him?
But like, unfortunately, his deal fell through. But I didn't care because I got it done, and I was like, okay. And so that kind of catapulted me to the screenwriting thing, and then what you saying, like networking, like I used to be out here networking. I'm the type of person like I'm gonna put myself in the room somehow. I'm gonna figure it out.
Okay.
And it's just like it's just talking, networking, and just be consistent, be motivated, and then and just be have it like you gotta have. It's good to have talent, but talent gotta come with determination, consistency. You can't be scared. You can't let fear hinder you. You can't let it impede you. We're like I see people do it all the time. They doubt themselves. I don't know. I don't stop saying you don't know. Just try, man. If you fail,
Right.
do it again. You failed. Every successful person always been a failure.
Yeah,
Always been a failure.
They've had to fail at something.
Yeah, nothing ventured, nothing gained. You can get anything if you don't try to do something.
The only time you
That's
fail
it.
if you don't try.
Yeah, you'll fail just automatically if you don't try. So,
And I said,
I tell people, what's the worst thing that can happen? You won't be any worse off than you are right now because you don't have the opportunity now. So if you pursue it, then it might work, or you might,
the worst thing that can happen. The worst thing that can happen is if you later on you have regret.
Right, that's true. And you don't want to do that.
You don't want regret.
So do you have a copy of your book, Gun, handy that you can show on the screen?
Yeah, I got one. Hold on.
Okay.
Wait,
We want to make sure.
Hold on, right here.
Okay. Another one. But we want to make sure when people order the book, they order the correct book. And so that's why
that's good.
Okay. Yeah, so you just got bullets on there,
Yeah.
not the actual gun itself. So,
Yeah. I just got the shell.
Cartridges. Or is that one's a cartridge, one is a bullet and one's a cartridge?
It's the shell casing. Yeah, the shell casing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the gun's already been fired. This is what's left behind in the crime scene.
Well, that sounds interesting. A gun that's possessed, or the person's possessed, or they're both possessed, and that's really not that far from the truth. Sometimes people do let a weapon take control. That sounds like an interesting plot. So what do you have coming up? You have your next book in the pipeline?
Yeah, well, I got my next book is coming out. It's called Butter Soft. That's coming out in March next year. And then I got Solomon Dog. Solomon Dog is about a slave that becomes a vampire in 1850 South Carolina.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
See what I'm doing is I'm creating this universe where
Okay.
it's a universe where like they got Marvel. My it's gonna be all black characters. Like so, Gun is like the catalyst for what is going on. And then I got Solomon Dog. His name is Solomon. He's a slave in 1850, and he's married. It's like a love story, but it's a vampire novel too. And he becomes a
Okay.
slave. And
Mm.
then I got Bronco. Bronco takes place in 1950. That's about like a Luke Cage character who can see the dead. He's like a mercenary for the dead for like when you see like with Emmett Till,
Hmm.
it's like Emmett Till ghost comes to him because he never received justice. So
Right.
Bronco,
Wow.
mercenary character who takes justice for the dead in the 1950s in like Mississippi somewhere, and he's a World War II veteran, and he's haunted by visions of ghosts, but they come to him for help like the 18 because you know what I'm saying.
Oh,
Yeah, I got crazy stories,
you
so
do. You
I
got some crazy
see.
stories. You got a vivid imagination, and
I do.
that's what is
Yeah.
required for good fiction.
Uh,
So thank you, Eric, for being a guest on Black Authors Matter TV.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it so
Continue
much.
Enjoyed talking
success
with you.
with all.
Yeah.
Congratulations on everything.
Thank you so much.
Okay. And you have a great evening.
Y'all too.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Good night.